Hey there, ba-da-ba-ba-da. Gin lover, ba-da-ba-ba-da. Do you like to drink the gin? Well, you're in the right place, 'cause this is no nonsense gin drinking. With me, Bobby Freeman.
No nonsense gin drinking. All gin, no nonsense.
Hello, gin lovers. Welcome back. I'm Bobby Freeman, and today, my friends, hold tight, strap yourselves in, and scream if you want to go faster, because today it's the big one. It is Beefeater versus Aviation Gin. Let's do this. So, many of my viewers and subscribers will know that I've done a few of these comparison videos recently, and people seem to like them, and they're almost always featuring this little fellow, Beefeater, which is, in my view anyway, the king of the gins. And I think a lot of people agree with me. However, there is a silent usurper sort of softly coming around the outside from the United States of America, looking to topple this king from his throne, and it is, of course, Aviation Gin. So I'm very much looking forward to getting stuck into both of these and finding out the difference between each of them and which one you should buy. So let's have a bit of a recap on the old Beefeater from what they say about it on the website, shall we? And as of course it is from London, I shall be doing my Cockney accent again. All right, mate, get a load of this. From James Burroughs' original recipe, good old Des Payne, the world's most experienced master distiller, oversees a bold and distinct gin that sets the standards for other London dry gins. Lovely. Since 1863, it has stood the test of time and now claims the title of the world's most awarded gin. God blimey. Turn it in, mate. Apples and pears. My old man's a dustman, he wears a dustman's hat. So let's have a little snifter of it, shall we? Refresh my memory. Not that it means much refreshing, because I do drink it all the time. By the way, if you're wondering why it is called Beefeater, it's because this little fellow on here, he is what's called a yeoman of the guard, and these chaps guard the Tower of London, and legend has it that they used to get paid in beef. Now, I can't help wondering to myself, wouldn't the world be a better place if we all got paid in beef? So here we go, a little tiny sip. Oh man alive, it's just, oh. It is a symphony of flavours of citrus and sort of cinnamony and juniper, and just sort of with that sort of just the right amount of sort of alcoholic burn. It's a gin where you just know, you can taste the years, the almost 200, is it just over or 200? It's around about 200 years of experience, and you can taste every single second of it. And I've just realised I've been doing this part of the show with my flies undone, so I'll subtly do it up so no one notices. Perfect, on with the show. So let's go over to the old Aviation American Gin and remind ourselves with a little tidbit from the website. And of course it is an American gin, so I shall be doing my American accent. Every bottle of Aviation Gin is handcrafted in small 100-case batches by a small dedicated team of master distillers in Portland, Oregon. Like the world's finest gins, Aviation is distilled using a proprietary maceration process that produces a pure medley of botanical flavor. Yeehaw! Now, all right, I know that ain't a Portland, Oregon accent, and I don't think there are any cowboys in Portland, Oregon either, but you know what? I bought this hat for a fancy dress party, and I want to get my goddamn money's worth, I'd also like to say thank you very much to the Hollywood actor Ryan Reynolds, because he obviously owns Aviation Gin, if you didn't know, and he's very kindly mentioned me a couple of times on Twitter when I featured Aviation in my various videos, and I know he's probably trying to wheedle his way onto my show, you know, because I'm obviously a big shot here in my garage, and he's a struggling actor. So keep trying, Ryan. You know, at the end of the day, I'm a very busy man, but you know, I'll help you out whenever I can. In fact, you know what? I probably made his day by mentioning him on the show. So there you go, Ryan. You're welcome, my friend. So let's refresh my memory of the old Aviation. Oh, yes. I'm going to paraphrase Mr. Spock here again and say it is gin, but not as we know it. Not in the traditional sort of London dry gin sense, because what they've done at the Aviation Distillery, they've pulled back a little bit on the juniper, which is kind of sort of not what you expect with gin, because gin is juniper. It has to be juniper, a juniper-based spirit, otherwise it's not gin anymore. But by doing that, they've sort of let the other flavours come to the core. So the cardamom, the coriander, and the French lavender and all this, these sort of stand out in a way that many other gins don't allow to. And the other unique thing about Aviation is that's mixed with tonic there. However, I found out when I tried it first of all, someone said to me, you shouldn't be drinking it with tonic, it should be drunk neat. So let me just pour a little bit of the stuff neat, because I made a fool of myself before, because I did try it neat, but I put some ice in it so it was on the rocks, but I said it was neat. And I looked quite the ignoramus, but never mind, we've put that all behind us. So let's have another little try again. Ah, that's the ticket. I said this before, it's very crisp, and it's almost like sort of a bubble that's frozen. Sometimes you can do those sort of frozen bubbles in the snow, and you touch them and they just go like ding, ding, ding. You get this sort of a beautiful sharp sort of scratch of flavour, but it kind of dissipates and just goes beautifully in light and just floats up into the mouth, and it is truly wonderful, and a very sophisticated and refined gin as well. Now you can have Beefeater neat as well, but personally, yeah, it's good, but I think that the tonic brings out the flavours in that, where it doesn't seem to in the Aviation. So these are two very, very different beasts we've got here. So how do we compare? How do we compare it? And how do we compare? And, oh God, how do we find out which is the best? Well, the answer is with extreme and great and acute difficulty, because this, I've said before in some of these comparison videos, they've really sort of torn me apart, like choosing between two of my children. But nothing, my friends, compares to picking a winner from these two, because it is just the hardest thing in the world, and probably the hardest thing I've ever done on this show. Well, let's start with something easy to pull them apart on, and that is the price, because they're quite different when it comes to how much money you're going to shell out for them. Because the Beefeater over here in the UK is going to be about £16, and that is about $20 in the US and 17 euros. Whereas the old Aviation over here, you're going to pay for this fellow, I'm afraid. It's going to be £30 over here in the UK, and $25 in the US, and 33 euros if you're in the Euro. I mean, obviously I can't go through all the currencies because I'll be here forever. So yeah, it is a bit on the price side, but let's sort of put that aside for now, just as gins, okay? Because it's not really fair to compare them, because I did that in other reviews, I compared the prices together, but it turns out that all around the world they do vary. So let's just look at them as gins. Now, I have done a lot of thinking about this. As difficult as it is, I've come to the conclusion that, I've said before, I hate to be a fence sitter. I can't stand people who sit on the fence. Just make a decision one way or the other. But I honestly think in this situation, they are such two different beasts. You know, this being the American gin with the less juniper, this one with a heavy juniper and working better with tonic, that one working better neat. It's a bit like comparing two sportsmen that do play different sports. So it's like comparing Mike Tyson to Tiger Woods, for example. Mike Tyson, excellent boxer. Tiger Woods, excellent golfer. But who's the best? You can't compare, you can't pick a winner out of that one, because they're just two completely different sort of realms. So what I would say is, and this kind of defeats the purpose of the whole video, I've never done this before, but I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to just be dishonest just for the sake of a video and just say this one's better or that one's better. For the first time ever, I'm going to have to say, just buy both. Just buy both, which is a ridiculous conclusion of this video, but it's the only conclusion. It's the only conclusion you can come to, because they are so different and they're both so good in their own ways. Just please, just save a bit of extra money and just buy them both, because they're just both fantastic. So my friends, I hope you've enjoyed that video. I hope it's not too much of a sort of a weird conclusion for you. But as I say, I'm only here to be honest. Otherwise, what's the point in me being here? And as always, guys, if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, press the like button and the bell icon so you get notified when my new videos come out. And if you want to support the show, head over to my Patreon page as well. But until next time, guys, take care, stay safe. Oh, I'm starting the salute early today. Thank you to all my patrons, and keep drinking the gin.